Heading to Sicily and need a plan? In today's video, I'll cover everything you need to know, from food and lodging to must-see spots and budget tips. You'll also discover 2 hidden gems that most tourists miss. Let's keep this between us. Before we get into the video, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. First, let me give you a quick overview of the island. Sicily is the largest island in the Mediterranean. In fact, if you've watched other videos about this island, everyone starts their video by mentioning its size. The island is located just 3 kilometers off the southern coast of Italy. It covers an area of approximately 25,000 kilometers sat. That's larger than many countries. The island is home to 3 active volcanoes. The most famous of these is Etna, Europe's tallest active volcano. Standing at 3,357 meters, it rises right in the middle of the city. Historically, since the 8th century BCE, the island has been successively ruled by the Greeks, Arabs, Normans, Spaniards, and Italians. Each civilization has left a lasting mark on the architecture, cuisine, and culture. This diversity elevates Sicily beyond the status of an ordinary vacation island. There are 2 main airports to reach the island. If you're planning the eastern route, Syracuse, Taormina, Etna, Catania Airport is much more practical. If your destination is Palermo, Agrigento, or Trapani, Palermo Airport is a better option. Entering the island via one airport and exiting via the other is a sensible choice. Renting a car is the best way to get around the island. Public transportation is quite limited. Some routes are only accessible by car. Sicilian cuisine directly reflects the island's history. Arab, Greek, Norman, and Spanish influences can all be seen on the same plate. Arancini, fried rice balls filled with meat, peas, egg, and mozzarella. This was the first thing I tried here. An interesting detail: in Catania, they're cone-shaped and mimic the shape of Mount Etna, while in Palermo, they're round. At street stalls, one costs about $2.5. I think it's well worth the price. It's filling and truly delicious. I highly recommend not missing out on it. Granita and brioche. Granita is a semi-frozen dessert made with sugar and fresh fruit. Here it's served with brioche for breakfast. If you want to try the orange version, you can dip small pieces of brioche into the granita. That's the local way. It costs about $4 or $5. I don't think that's too much, especially on hot days. It's a refreshing and unique experience. Seafood. I recommend visiting the Ortigia Fish Market in Syracuse before noon, as the market closes at noon. Fresh tuna carpaccio, swordfish pasta, and cod marinated in orange and fennel are the standout options here. Since it gets quite crowded, arriving early is advisable. Cannoli, Sicily's gift to the world. A thin pastry tube filled with fresh ricotta. A critical note: I recommend having them filled on the spot. Pre-filled ones lose their texture. They cost between $22 and $4 at pastry shops. It's definitely worth the price. Modica chocolate, a unique chocolate made without heat, flavored with cinnamon, vanilla, and rosemary. Its texture and taste are distinctly different from the chocolate you're used to. I recommend trying a few varieties. Starting at 5 p.m., you can spend time at the bars along the Ortigia Marina enjoying local wine. Marsala wine tasting tours are available. If you're interested, there are a few options in the area. Practical note: the lunch break lasts about 3 hours. From 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., restaurants and shops are largely closed. If you plan without knowing this, you might end up waiting. It happened to me. Catania, Sicily's 2nd largest city, situated at the foot of Mount Etna. Due to the volcanic soil, the city's stones have a distinct blackish hue. The black elephant statue in Piazza del Duomo is made of Etna's lava stone and serves as the city's symbol. Right nearby, the ruins of a Roman-era amphitheater stand right in the middle of daily life. Not in a special area, but in the heart of the city. Catania is also the birthplace of the Italian opera composer Vincenzo Bellini. Mount Etna, Europe's highest active volcano, Standing at exactly 3,357 meters, you can take the gondola up to 2,500 meters. A ticket costs about $55. I chose the gondola. Was it worth $55? Yes, the view is truly breathtaking. There's also the option to ascend to 2,900 meters via private 4x4 vehicles. This package costs about $85. I don't consider the $85 package necessary. The extra distance doesn't justify the price difference. From the summit, you can see craters, hardened lava fields, and the Sicilian coastline. Important note, the gondola closes early in the afternoon. I recommend going in the early morning. Taormina, a popular European vacation destination since the 19th century. It's about a 2-hour winding drive from Catania. The ancient Greco-Roman theater, dating back to the 3rd century BCE, is still active today. The 2017 G7 summit was also held here. When you step onto the stage, Mount Etna is visible in the background. Below the town, Isola Bella offers a sheltered cove. Villa Comunale is free and offers views of Mount Etna. It's a great spot to relax. Accommodation costs over $300 per night. I wouldn't choose to stay here. A day trip makes much more sense. Savoca, a small town just 20 minutes from Taormina. Key scenes from The Godfather were filmed here, and the locals still share this fact with great pride. Syracuse and Ortigia, a historic city founded by Greek colonists in 734 BC and listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In ancient times, Cicero described this city as one of the most impressive places in the Mediterranean. In the narrow streets of Ortigia, you'll come across the ruins of the Temple of Apollo dating back to the 6th century BC. Over the course of history, this structure has served successively as a Byzantine church, an Arab mosque, a Norman basilica, and a Spanish barracks. The cathedral in Piazza Duomo was a Greek temple 2,700 years ago. Entrance to Castello Maniasse costs just $2. This structure, completed in 1240, juts out over the sea. Noto, a city completely rebuilt in the Baroque style following the 1693 earthquake. It is listed on UNESCO's Late Baroque Cities of Sicily list. During the annual Flower Festival, the streets are covered with flower carpets laid by volunteers, an event that has been held continuously for 46 years. Cefalù, a coastal town dating back to 396 BC, located about an hour from Palermo. A great stop for a stroll along the marina and exploring the narrow historic streets. It offers a particularly lovely atmosphere in the evening. Scopello, about an hour from Palermo. The Faraglioni di Scopello rock formations rising from the sea are the region's iconic landmark. This area, a center for tuna fishing since the 15th century, also appeared in the film Ocean's 12. Snorkeling is possible around the rock formations. San Vito lo Capo, about 50 minutes from Scopello. It is home to one of Sicily's most famous beaches. The Monte Monaco mountain behind it is what makes this beach stand out visually. Agrigento, Valley of the Temples. 7 temples built by the Greeks in the 5th century BC, one of the world's best preserved Greek archaeological sites. The Temple of Concordia stands today in its most intact form. I recommend visiting during sunset. The lighting conditions are stunning. Admission is between $11 and $16. Nearby is Scala dei Turchi, Turkish stairs in English. The name comes from the Arab sailors frequently seen along these coasts in the Middle Ages. In the Italian of that era, Muslim sailors were generally referred to as Turks. White limestone cliffs and a striking cove, one of Sicily's most photographed spots. Palermo, the island's capital, founded by the Phoenicians in 734 BC. I recommend visiting the Teatro Massimo, Italy's largest opera house, completed in 1897 and famous for the final scene of The Godfather. The Palermo and Ortigia markets are lively and colorful. The Byzantine mosaics of Monreale Cathedral are among the world's most famous works of art. The Capuchin catacombs offer a unique experience. In this historic site, which has been in use since 1599, centuries-old remains are preserved in period costumes. Little Rosalia Lombardo, brought here in 1920, remains exceptionally well preserved even decades later. It's a fascinating place from both historical and scientific perspectives, but it may not be suitable for visually sensitive viewers. I recommend researching it beforehand. Night tours of Stromboli in the Aeolian Islands are a unique experience. You can observe Stromboli's nighttime activity from a boat. Tours departing from Milazzo cost between $75 and $110. Stromboli is one of the Mediterranean's most active volcanoes, which is why it's nicknamed the Lighthouse of the Mediterranean. To the south lies Lampedusa. Rabbit Beach is a spot that has repeatedly ranked among the top beaches in international rankings. Sicily offers a significant price advantage compared to other tourist destinations in Italy. For a budget trip, cheap B&Bs or Airbnbs, street food, and free activities, $9 a day is sufficient. For the mid-range segment, adding local restaurants, a 3-star hotel, and a few paid activities brings the total to $130,165. A realistic mid-range budget for a week for one person is approximately $1,000. Car rental options range from $27 to $55 per day. This price drops significantly with early booking. April and May offer the advantage of the early season. Accommodation prices are 30–50% lower than in summer, and there are no crowds. In my opinion, these 2 months are the ideal time. An important practical note: when picking up the car, photograph all existing damage and check it again before returning it. There have been known cases where some companies try to charge the renter for existing damage. In terms of atmosphere, I think Ortigia is the strongest option. On this historic islet connected to Syracuse, Airbnb listings converted from stone buildings start at $38. With its narrow streets, artisan shops, and fishing village vibe, the area takes on a unique character in the evenings. For central hotels, you can find options ranging from $75 to $130 per night. In Catania, city center B&Bs range from $60 to $100. This is the most practical base for visiting Mount Etna. You can leave early in the morning and return comfortably before noon. Accommodation in Taormina averages over $300. I wouldn't recommend staying here overnight. A day trip makes much more sense. For those wanting to stay near Mount Etna, tour operators offer chalet accommodation packages. Guided tours and lodging are provided together. I saved this section for last. In Syracuse, tucked away in the back alleys of Ortigia, there's a small workshop that most tourists never visit. Here, handmade paper is produced from the papyrus plant using the ancient Egyptian technique, unchanged to this day. Surprising fact, the papyrus plant grows in Europe only in Syracuse. It's the sole location on the entire continent. The workshop owner creates hand-painted works on this paper. It's a small but worthwhile place to visit. There's another family workshop in the same neighborhood that's been in operation for 3 generations. The UNESCO-recognized tradition of handmade puppets is an art form that has continued since the Norman period. Each puppet is crafted by a single master: paper molds, metal accessories, and stitching. If you're passing through the area, I recommend stopping by. Witnessing a living craft tradition firsthand is a unique experience. Sicily is a strong destination that doesn't break the bank, offering a blend of history, cuisine, and nature. If you plan to visit before summer, you'll be in a prime position in terms of both price and crowds. So, is Sicily worth it compared to Bali? I don't think the two can be compared. Bali focuses on nature and culture, while Sicily emphasizes history and gastronomy. I'd choose Sicily, but that's entirely personal. Decide for yourself which one suits you best. Which of these 2 islands would you choose? I'm waiting for your comments. I'm genuinely curious. If this video was helpful, please give it a like. It's a small gesture, but it really helps us out. Finally, we're a new channel and we need your support to grow. If you enjoy this kind of content, you can support us by subscribing. Every subscriber is truly valuable to us. See you on the next island.